Sir, thank you so much for joining us. Sridhar sir, நீங்க வந்து எங்களோட alumni senior. So we look up to you and respect you a lot in all the things that you're doing. So I just wanted to give you a background about why we are doing this particular program. We are calling it the Excellence Peak series because all the people we have included in these sessions are all people who have really made a mark in different things. For example, we had a tech specialist come in for the first time. Then we had Prasad who joined us for one. Then we had one person called Group Captain Naidu who came in for a session on ethics. Then we had Lieutenant Colonel Bharat Singh who came in. He talked about the 2611. He was the hero of the 2611 operation. We had Priya Gautam, who's a marketing specialist. So we got different specialists to come and join us and basically give some positive notes to people because I think everyone is, really under this whole pandemic and how do we do and cash flow and all of those things, but we felt that in every situation there is an opportunity, so we thought we'll have experts like you come in and speak about it, sir. So we will give you a small intro in the video when it comes out, but otherwise I think quite a few people know you. So the very first question that I have for you is one, that your experience in the field of HR and consulting services, I wouldn't even say robust, I would say phenomenal. I mean, starting off as a corporate HR person and then thereafter becoming an entrepreneur and then being member of multiple boards as a strategic advisor and coach. So, considering this whole Corona thingy and all that stuff, if you were to look at this pandemic problem for organizations, what should the business entity do? And secondly, what should the employee, how the employees should look at it is what I want from you as the first answer, sir.
Okay, so thank you, Unni. Thank you for inviting me onto this Excellent Speak session. And it is indeed wonderful to be back with you guys. I love you guys. I've been interacting with you guys for several years. So you bring in certain amount of energy and enthusiasm into the system. That is why I love working with Excel, right? So that is what it is. So let me start off from where you asked the question, Unni. Please understand there are situations that people can manage. There are situations that people or environment that it is beyond our reach, right? COVID-19 is probably in the clearly second category, right? Nobody in the right frame of mind would have even thought in February of this year that we are going to be stuck in 3 weeks from now for next 7 months or 6 months or 5 months, that we don't have anything to do and we'll be doodling our thumbs at home, or we'll be trying to do Zoom calls and we'll be trying to do work from homes, and this is exactly what it is. Okay? So having said that, when something like that hits you, so people go through levels of emotions. Okay? So the first level of emotion that everybody went through was very, very clear. It was one of frustration, one of extreme distraught, one that they couldn't even believe what is happening. Will I survive? First, everybody thought about themselves, forget about the company, forget about the family, right? So as things moved on, and with all the social media thing, there are a lot of good things and there are a lot of bad things, right? So unfortunately, in an event like this, bad things took ahead of the good things, right? So wrong information were posted, wrong information were read, so negativity spread across, right? In one single word. So the biggest challenge was for organization, how do I quell the negativity? Obviously, the organizations were struggling. There is no organization which can say, no, I did not struggle. So if they are saying, then they are struggling alive. Big, small, medium, multinational, everybody struggle, because if you are closed almost for 3 months and there is no production or no sales or so nothing happening, you are going to struggle, right? So you're going to struggle for your products, you're going to struggle for your customers, you are going to struggle for cash flows, you are going to struggle for paying the salaries, you are going to trying to take care of the employees. So there's different struggle that you went through. That is the first one challenge. The second challenge is at the employee level, right? At the employee level, there was a phenomenal amount of fear factor, right? What is that fear factor? The fear factor consists of 2-3 parameters. One, the fear factor is, will I have my job, right?
Yeah.
Second, if I don't have my job, how do will I get, is there any chance to get any other job? At this point of time, almost nil. Number two.
Yeah.
Number three, how will I ever manage this family and the surrounding things around that without a job, right? All these
Yeah.
three created fear for the employee. On top of it, already whenever he takes up a phone to talk to people or whenever he reads a WhatsApp message, there is only a sad news that is coming in. I talked about the negativity earlier, right? So there
Absolutely.
is already a huge amount of negativity. Will I survive this? Then will I survive with my job? Or will I survive with my job and my family? So 1, 2, and 3, all the three became a big factor. So this was the biggest factor that we had to go through. So how did people get through this, right? So there are a lot of good organizations that we worked with, ensured them, they went back and told their employees, we are not letting you go or anything like that, right? We will have you inside the organization, right? Only thing you have to do is you have to understand the organization is also struggling, but both of us has to compromise, have to find a middle path. I will use a better word, middle path, not compromise. Middle path is that you need to give away some of your salary and we need to give away some of the fact that we need to still continue to hold you, may not be fully productive, right? So a lot of organizations found a middle path, right? They did not, there are organizations which did not find a middle path, which went on a spree cutting people, cutting salaries and all that. There are other firms who found a middle path. So I thought the company that I advised, that I work with closely on the board, I advised all of them, never take a standalone approach. You are going to take an approach today, which is 3 months or 6 months, and you are going to run into problems, right? If you are taking a long-term approach, yes, I am going to struggle for next 6 months, next 9 months, but I will manage it, right? If you can take that, that is exactly the first question. On the employee side, what we did was, we did several, for example, there was a specific program that was done for several managers across several organizations. It is called mental health and managing employees' mental health. Okay. So what is this?
Okay.
It means managing your mental health first, which means
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
very
yeah,
important.
yeah, taking care of your mental health, taking away all the negativity. Second is, how do you take care of your employees' mental health? Which means that you identify somebody is very, very depressed. You identify somebody is very, very worried. For example, I tell you a very quick example, right? I know of an organization which went in to say that they had 14 people as senior leadership team members, right? Including the MD. So the MD said, I will do the COVID test, right? And I will allow all my people to go through the COVID test. Irrespective of what happens, we will support you. You have an insurance, you have nothing to do. So it was, though a lot of them were very hesitant, when the MD went through and everybody said that, and everybody thought that they will go through. When they went through, 4 or 5 of them tested positive. But we said nothing to worry. That, do you have any symptom? No, we are asymptomatic. Very good. Stay at home for next 2 weeks. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family very well. Right? So then we will come back to you. So what happened was that channelized the energy. So instead of the negative energy, it became a positive energy. Right?
Yeah.
They went back
Actually,
and told
sir,
their manager.
if you look at it, no, even in the airlines, when they show that whole demonstration of the, the oxygen falling, they say first take care of yourself, and then take care of the other people around you. So it actually connects beautifully. So, so Sonali has a question for you.
Yeah.
Sir.
Sridhar sir, we talked about organizations and you talked about employees. We also know that you're very passionate about education.
Yeah.
So, according to you, what should higher education centers or universities do to proceed now after COVID? After COVID-19, what is their path forward?
Well, very, very, very interesting question, Sonali. Okay, so in my terminology, education is going to take a turn for better.
Okay.
Okay, I repeat what I'm saying. Education is to take, this COVID is going to help education to take a turn for the better, right? When I say better, because people have started understanding it is not necessarily that I have to go and sit in the class and wait for 8 hours. Are you boring? When will the class end? I will run away.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So you
Yeah.
and I did it. You did it 30 years back. I did it 40 years back. So that's what the
Yes,
difference
sir.
was,
Yes, sir.
right? Right. So it is not necessarily like that today, right? So
Yeah.
children are now learning how they can do better, right?
Yeah.
Lot of educational startup. In fact, I am working through with an educational startup at this point of time as a part of my work, and they are saying they have so much of traction in their business. Right?
Yeah.
People
Wow.
are ready to sit and drag in and learn. So universities, which are to me, which are all big built concrete jungles, will now turn into nice small iPads and laptops, and so that is university today.
I
Right?
think,
So
I think, yeah, I think the teachers are also learning innovative methods of teaching.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Next, I would have come to that next. So
Yeah.
the university itself is changing. The curriculum is changing. The
Correct.
way it is being taught will change now very, very
Change.
good.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I
So
am
in
one
fact-
of those guys. I don't know whether you guys had a chance to go through the new education policy. New education policy provides so much of insight. They did not look at COVID-19, but it probably came at the right time, right?
Right,
So
Yes.
so I know one of those guys who was authors of that program, right? Who explained us the excellent concept before the NEP, as it is called, right? So it is a phenomenal amount of learning that they will get, and so it is going to change the way, as I said, universities teach. Universities are done. Universities teach. Teachers teach. Students learn. So
Learn.
all of it is going to change. All
Actually,
the
sir,
four factors.
we have been involved quite a bit because NIFT we've been doing now. In fact, the last semester, halfway, we had to start the online program. This semester, we have finished 1,200, 300 kids only online with about 30 facilitators. So we understand the whole thing. So now that comes to the next question that I have, because I know these kids are, they are user friendly with technology. Okay, and they also know how to, avoid, how to, manipulate, how to be missing. They can switch on their video for a little while, disappear, mute it, all of those things they can do now. Okay, so what I am asking you is, like you were talking about institutions, what do you think as part of their curriculum they need to inculcate or include for, I mean, the betterment not only of the institution, but also of the students who are studying there? What all do you think skill sets they need to include as part of their curriculum?
Yeah, so I will tell you what is probably something that we are not doing very well as a country, right? Or probably the world, right? Is something that has to change is include lot more softer aspects of human beings into the education, right? The harder aspects, I know physics theory and chemistry formulas and mathematics, and then I know all of that, right? Slowly sports has come into play, which is good, right? Though it could become much better, right?
Absolutely.
But I think lot more other things like fitness, right? For example, yoga, right? Or other softer aspects like understanding human beings, right?
Yes.
Behaviors,
Yes.
right? A lot more softer aspects has to be taught to children, right? Right at that age, then they will know. It is also because I tell you where the challenge lies. The challenge lies, as I told you earlier, the way university and education is going to change, right? It is also going to put an huge amount of impact on everybody, including the university, to the teachers, to the student, because they are changing to a different model. And the different model doesn't allow you to have face-to-face expression, right?
Yes.
The lesser the face-to-face, the higher the chance of misunderstanding, right? There is an element called body language, right? That is almost totally taken out of it.
Yeah, that is
Right?
included as part of communication.
Yeah, so that these are things that need to be taught. I will tell you today only I read, there is a new article that has come out. A world organization has done a survey across 5 different big countries: USA, UK, Australia, India, and China. Right? About how people are working from home, what are they feeling? You know what is the response? 70% of the people have said, no, we want to go back and work in office.
Wow. They're so bored at home.
Today. Yes. That is what will happen because you are not seeing human beings, right? So there is nothing that can, whatever technology can come, there is nothing that can replace human being interactions, right?
That's right.
So that is something that we have to teach children. Children today are probably working on whatever, right? So we need to teach them how good is human interaction.
No, sir, but frankly speaking, even the students are saying the same thing. We are interacting with them now, and they're saying they had enough. They want to come back to the institute. And I think basically college is all about the beautiful relationships that you build.
Absolutely. Yeah. You taking away his pencil and he taking away his lunchbox. You miss all of that, right? So you miss all of that, right?
I think the best learning happens in those outside the classroom than inside the classroom. Most of the learning happens outside the classroom.
Definitely. So your friends teach you more than what your probably teacher teaches you, right? So very very important aspect. That is why I'm saying that behavioral aspect has to be taught at the schools much higher now.
Yeah. So what skills do you think they have to upgrade? These the youth of today, what are the skills that they have to upgrade to see success?
So skill, I will say I'll use 3 major competencies, right? One, first and most important competency is to interact with people, to be working in a team, right?
Interpersonal
skills. Work with people. Interpersonal skills, right? There is a skill. Interaction as a competency is a very, very high level wherein you are able to work in a team or able to deliver together, working together and delivering together, right? Part of that is interpersonal skills, as you only said, right? Number one. So second most important competency is listening. So listening is a competency, I think, which is absolutely need to be taught now because people don't listen because they got used to seeing movies, seeing WhatsApp, they don't listen to people, right? So listening is a big competency that needs to be taught again. Okay. Third but not the least, very important is ability to appreciate others' point of view.
Excellent. Super.
Okay. So if you are able to appreciate others' point of view, you will have a different understanding of different issues and different problems. I think these are the 3 big competencies that you need.
Absolutely. So actually, sir, if you were, we have kind of discussed this when we spoke about the program for MSSW and all that. So this NIFT program, the GE curriculum, which has come as a new curriculum, which is become part of it. I mean, they've included all of these competencies. So they have mandatory on one side, which includes personality development, communication, critical thinking, all of that stuff. And in the optionals part, they've included all of these: yoga, fitness, music, dance, theater, creative writing, film appreciation. So they have actually included the whole thing, and all of them are 35-hour programs, sir. And we have had a great experience running it for them. So I think the whole idea is to create an interest in this whole aspect of learning, even though if it is online, and make them love what they're learning, so that they actually imbibe these qualities and become greater professionals when they go out into the field. That's the idea.
Absolutely.
So
see,
what
today world, I'll tell you, I'll complete this important thing, Muni. Today world needs needs a well-rounded people, right? It doesn't need just specialists. It needs well-rounded people, right? So organizations today are struggling not because they don't have specialists, but they don't have excellent, well-rounded managers. Right?
Absolutely right. I completely agree with that. That time when we required specialists has changed. Now it's become a person who is more
Yeah,
capable holistically.
multifaceted personality.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
So great. So I think we've kind of kept ourselves within that 20-minute domain, sir. And I need to really
Okay.
thank you for being with us today. Of course, this gives us a chance to say that we might probably call you as part of the series even later because this is only the 6th episode
We'll
now.
ask you different questions, sir.
Yeah.
You are always
Because,
most
sir-
welcome, Unni and
Yes.
Sonali. It is wonderful talking to you guys and all the very
No,
best.
sir.
in
Actually
all
speaking,
things that
this
you do.
20 minutes is too less, sir, to include a person like of your caliber. That's the that's the reason
Yeah,
we look at
that's
it.
Yeah, so Sridhar
Thank
would
you
love to
so
talk.
much, sir.
Okay, so thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
guys.
sir.
Thank you so much.
Lovely, sir.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, sir. Bye.
Bye.